That was a good one. I like that.
That was the missing piece we've been waiting for.
Yep.
Aaron's got to talk in that voice now for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
God.
I can do that.
So, we're back, guys. Have you missed us? Yeah.
Hope so.
We thought we'd come back with a vengeance and bring the one, the only.
The only.
AZZA!
I was going to say AZZA too.
AZZA, the editor.
AZZA.
Yeah, that's the one.
AZZA,
So-
editor from...
This episode is going to be all about you, baby.
Fun
Ooh.
fact, I'm not that interesting.
This is going to be a
Really?
5-minute long
Disclaimer.
episode.
Yeah, it'll be over in like... This will be the shortest one, just 30 minutes and then... Poof,
And
sorted.
done.
Yeah.
30 minutes, that's a push.
What are you drinking there, sunshine?
Yeah, what have you brought to the table?
It's the manliest drink. The manliest.
Okay.
Le WooWoo.
La WooWoo.
Je suis a le WooWoo. Yeah, bright red.
What's in a
Wow.
WooWoo?
It is... I had the ingredients up and I've forgot...
How many of them have you drunk?
No,
Aaron's
just,
doing a me right now.
I've just drunk 20. It's alright. So, a WooWoo consists of peach schnapps, cranberry juice, and vodka,
Oh, yummy.
and a
Love
garnish
that.
of lemon.
And if you're
Very
broke, you can
nice.
head to Spoons and get one, right?
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much.
What do you give your rating on your WooWoo? The WooWoo rating time.
It's out of 5, isn't it? No? It's out of 5?
Is that 10?
Out of 10? I'd say
5.
a 5. I'd say a 7 because it's got like a fruity. It's what like when it comes to alcohol, I'm one of those people that prefers the fruity kind where you don't realise you're drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's probably why it's one of. I mean, I haven't had that many cocktails, but it is probably my favourite.
Aaron's lying, he's a cocktail connoisseur.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Bartender
I mean, that's probably why my go-to alcohols like the fruity ciders, like the Copperbergs and your
Oh,
your
yeah.
Yeah.
Recorderlegs, or however you pronounce it.
Okay, so what are we doing today, lads?
Get to know the editor.
Getting to know me.
Yeah.
Like I said, not that interesting.
Nah,
Do you just
shut
want
up.
me to jump straight into it then, or shall I?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll give a little overview. You put a lot of work into our edits, and we've known you for a very long time.
Mm.
We
So-
have indeed.
I thought it would be a good idea if you tested us to see how well we really know you.
Okay.
And then we can go into some deep dives about school, maybe, what you remember from Chicken Burger Day. Any
CBD.
memories you have of either of us. CBD!
CBD.
So yeah, do you wanna start us off with a little test?
Okay. I can start off with a little test.
Okay.
Before
What are
I
we
get
gonna do?
into
Are
it,
we gonna do like buzzers, or like you just gonna ask one of us?
you know what? I'm just because the first thing I've got planned is 4 different 2 truths, 1 lie things. They're very
Okay.
straightforward ones. But you don't need to buzz in. I'll give you like a bit of time to think of it, about it, deliberate it. Analyse
Okay.
it. I guess there's not much to analyse. Except you will very quickly realise that I'm an idiot.
Okay.
But before I get into that, I thought I'll just do like a very vague like AA meeting, sort of like, hi, my name's Aaron, I'm 23, I'm not an alcoholic.
You're a woo-woo holic. He's a woo-woo holic, girls.
Fuck it. Ooh. Yeah, 23, my name's Aaron, single,
Wait, can you
always
do
have,
it
always
in
will.
the? Can you do it in the
Single
style of
always have, always will.
do it in the style. Do that again, but in the style of like Take Me Out, Love Island introduction, give it everything, and scene.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Okay, right. Because now you're asking. Right. Okay.
Do you want me to give you a demo? Are you all right?
No, I can. I'm just trying to think.
you
'Cause
got this.
I could go full Ian Sterling, Love Island, like tonight on Love Island. We've got
What?
the editor. Fucking Aaron. That's his name.
Why haven't we added that into the podcast before? What?
Tonight on So Podcast. Please
Oh
give me
my
that.
god.
Tonight on Love Island. And the trick,
Sake.
the trick to that is you act constipated and you chug a load of gravel beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just fucking chug a driveway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then you fucking try your best Scottish accent and you.
I'm almost fucking scared.
You're
I think
welcome.
that's all we've got time for today, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sliding down.
So
Right. Okay.
okay, so that's obviously who'd present you, and then
Yep.
you'd come onto Love Island, and you go.
Hi.
Hi guys.
Hi, how are ya? Hi guys, it's Nicole.
Hey guys, it's Nicole.
Hey guys, it's Nicole.
Hey guys, it's Nicole.
Aaron, put that clip in. Aaron. Yeah, okay, so. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm 23. I'm from. I was going to say Jersey for some reason, but I've never been to Jersey.
Don't even
Yeah.
know one of those.
Can we have the 3 digits on the back of your credit card number as well, please? Just to really get to know you.
hang on, let me just get my wallet.
Lovely.
Yeah, my security code is 62555555. Yeah. That's. I mean, there's not really much to know. I mean, I did a degree in film and television, and I'm a massive film nerd. I try not to make that my personality trait.
It is, because if you're watching this on YouTube, just look behind Aaron.
Oh,
They're not books.
You mean that?
Oh my god!
You mean that?
Aaron does that when he brings the ladies
Yeah,
round.
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Hey, you want to watch something? Hang on. You want to watch something from the shelf? Yeah?
From the shelf, and they're
Set
like,
the
"Where's
mood,
the shelf?" They're like, "Where's the shelf?" And
The
you
shelf?
go,
The shelf is right over there.
"Right, I'm gonna ask you some quick fire questions. It's called the favourites
Ooh.
game,
Oh god, that's
and you've got
right.
to answer without thinking about it. Ready?
All right. Okay.
3, 2. Favourite movie?
Why would you do that? Right.
Can't
it's
say
between.
that to a movie
it's-
nerd.
You can't
I
think.
mean-
It's got to be subconscious. It's got to
Okay,
be
right.
instinct.
I've got. There's probably 3 at the top.
Go.
But do you want me to say all 3, or shall I just pick one of them?
All 3.
Right. Original Alien from 1979, Whiplash, and Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
Honest to
love
God,
that from you.
like I have watched that film so many times. Like I know that film back to front, like the dialogue in it. It's so
Oh my
funny.
God.
I love that
sick.
film so much.
That's cute. Love
Nice.
that. What's your next
Okay.
quick fire?
Favourite food?
Favorite food? Like a good old pasta, but I'll go with pasta.
Done. We're
Fuck it, I
done.
could go for
Not
ages.
pasta. Pasta. Done.
Pasta.
Done.
All right.
Pasta.
Favorite flavour of crisps.
Favorite flavour of crisp? Prawn cocktail.
Okay.
Okay.
Favorite musician. If you're not saying my name, I don't know why.
Oh, Mima.
Done. Bang.
Yeah, there you go.
Grace,
Boom.
you go.
What? I give some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Favourites.
Why do you have to put me on the spot like this, shit?
Favorite animal.
Favourite animal? I don't know. I find something cute about a llama.
Oh, is it the
Okay.
Emperor's New Groove?
Emperor's New Groove.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's probably that.
What's your favourite season?
season.
Of Friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say season 4 of Breaking Bad. Season 4 of Breaking Bad's fucking. No, favourite season is probably. I'll say autumn because it's not as hot as the summer, and it's not as cold as the winter.
Totally. That's mine too. I love that. Okay, and favourite place you've been on holiday?
I haven't been that many places. I'd probably say Spain.
Where did you go in Spain?
Not particularly. Well, it's not the bougie part. It's just Alicante because my friend.
Oh, I know where Alicante is.
Yeah, my friend, whose dad is loaded, has a villa out there, so we all stayed there for
And
a
you
week.
said not the bougie part, sure.
Not,
Friends in
yeah,
high
I've-
You were just by the pool. You were just by the pool sipping WooWoos.
Yeah, you were wooing it out hard.
yeah.
We were massive up in this bitch.
Hang on.
Oh my god. Ooh.
Yeah. It was wonderful.
Oh, wow, we love that.
You're gonna get dad jokes all for the next hour.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was a good game. I think we
That's
know
good.
you better now. I think that's a good practice run for your questions to us to see how well we know you. 'Cause now
Ooh.
we've got a bit of insider info, you know.
So to start things off, I've got. I've got.
Oh my
some
God, I've
really
just-
stu-
Sorry, I just thought of the title for this episode, The
Oh, go
Editor's
on.
New Groove.
Oh my god, yes.
I like that.
100 billion%.
Slap it on a t-shirt. Fucking, you got some merch right there. Why haven't we got podcast merch? You need,
We did
When
think
we
about
hit
this,
episode 10, we'll all get like mugs and stuff and hats.
That
we
sounds
get
cute.
you free. You get like a £10 WooWoo glass and
Yeah, cocktail
yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
Cocktail glass.
Yeah, we did say that, didn't we? Love that.
so. There are 4 loads of these, 3 each. Obviously,
Okay.
2 truths, 1 lie, and there's 3 of them. Some of these are stupid, but I'll let you deliberate after I've said each 3. So the first
Okay.
lot, starting off. I don't know whether this
truths
first.
and a lie.
Right, the first 3 are started off a bit silly, but So first one, when I was a kid, I cracked my head fully open and it had to be glued shut. 2, my middle name is Simon. Or 3, during the GCSE English literature exam, an invigilator smacked me in the face with a poetry book by accident.
Was it my granddad? No,
Might
my
have
granddad
been.
was the invigilator.
Does he have like bushy white hair and a beard?
No, he had
No.
like
Oh.
just the white halo and then the ball on the top.
No, I don't think it was Santa Claus that twatted me in the face. I'm pretty sure it was Santa Claus that
God.
twatted me in the face. You are allowed to ask me any questions to dig further into which
I
one's
already
true.
know it, but I do want to know more about how the hell you cracked your head open.
Right, I'm glad you've asked that, because when I was a kid, I was the most accident-prone fucking human being in the world. Like, luckily, from college onwards, I've been less injured. It's more like primary school, start of secondary school.
Yeah.
That specific one was at, the pub chain, is it Brewers or Brewsters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the bear as the mascot.
Yeah.
They had an indoor play area which was a lot like the McDonald's one, where it's like indoor, like clambers, like indoor
Basically
clubbing.
like kid trap.
Yeah.
Like a death trap for kids.
Oh, don't.
yeah.
It was like Saw for kids.
Yes.
Like, you just
Saw for
imagine
kids.
the little puppet to roll in, just like, do you want to play a game?
You knew your parents were pissed at you when you got chucked in McDonald's play area for 6 hours.
Yeah, just
Oh my God.
go on, Timmy, fuck off and get asbestos from the play area.
See how many infections you can get, son.
Yeah, go and lick the ball pit and get some weird disease that hasn't been found yet. But yeah, I can't remember the exact age, but it was my cousin's birthday and it was at a Brewster's thing, and at the end we were allowed to go into it. and around all the metal bars was literally the thinnest foam you can think of, just like a very loose wrap with some zip wire. And I hit my head, like, I was crawling, and I hit my head full on, like, the top of it, cracked it all the way down there, and they glued it shut. And I know that's significant. Like, I remember it well because it was also the Euro semi-cup final, and we lost on penalties to Portugal. And my dad was pissed because he had to miss the penalties to take me to the hospital.
Oh wow, you would have been in the doghouse for a while.
But yeah, I have way too many injuries I can recall, but I want to do that after you've figured out which one's the lie and which one's the truths.
I think the lie is your middle name.
I mean, we know the lie is your middle name now.
I mean, I can elaborate, but whether I'm bullshitting...
Oh yeah, true, okay.
Why is Simon your middle name?
My mum wanted it to be my first... Oh, I'm going to need one of these.
Don't try and pull the wool over a Scorpio's eyes, motherfucker!
I'm a Libra, alright? Leave me out of it.
Oh, he's just a baby.
He's just a baby Libra.
Hello, I'm a Libra.
Yeah, I love it. Do that.
Oh dear.
What a
so
shout.
you're going with Simon, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the middle name.
What was the bullshit story you were going to give us anyway?
I don't know. It's like I can't
You
remember.
went like this. Let me reenact. I went, okay, so why is your middle name Simon? And you went, my mum.
Yeah,
Nice.
Simon is not
That's
my
what we
middle
love.
name. It is Peter Declan.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Double barrel
Fancy.
Irish. Yeah.
You
Peter.
darn no.
Aaron Peter Declan Gillingham. Rawr, 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 rawr.
Gillingham. Okay,
But-
so tell us
yeah.
the story about getting smackoed.
So, the story I said about me cracking my head open, like, that's 100% how it happened. But I could, right. You know in cartoons when they flap out a bit of paper and it goes for miles? That's how many injuries I had as a kid. So I've broken my nose twice, I've broken my arm, cracked my head open. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but there is a scar across my thumb. That's a SCART lead. That was a SCART lead going through my thumb into the bone. What else? Oh, right. I'll tell you the most horrific one. So year
You know
one.
what? I think. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
I was gonna say I think this is more an episode of like Casualty or Holby City rather than the fucking podcast at this
Yeah,
point.
this ain't PG, dude. Did you
I
not get the
mean,
brief?
Sorry, carry on.
I mean, most of them are pretty tame. Like I broke my nose by tripping over, and stuff like that.
So
and
tame. Just
yeah,
as
stuff.
you do.
But
Yeah, just everyone does.
the worst one, year one of primary school. At the end of the day, you have to, each pick up the chairs and put them in a pile on the side of the room.
Yeah.
So did that, but I was
Jemima
carrying
wasn't out here doing slave labour. She's very confused. she's kind of an only child, so she's got only child syndrome, really.
Oh, I've got only child syndrome times 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
great.
far.
Yeah, I've got autism and I'm an only child. It sucks.
Oh, so it's
Jackpot.
heightened by 20.
23 and it sucks.
Oh
my God.
stop.
So yeah, this story's pretty horrible actually. So I was carrying a stack of 3 chairs to the edge of the room. I trip over, and the tables were like, they were not square. They were just like hexagons, I think. And the corner of the table goes through my face, corner through my cheek, massive gaping hole, all over here. And I was in so much agony. But the thing is, this primary school, not just the kids hated me, the teachers had a grudge against me as well for some reason. And they were like, Aaron, stop, kind of taking the piss, go to the medical room. Like, it's almost like they didn't give two shits. So I go to the medical room. The woman puts this like big plaster over the side of my face.
Just one of those kids' plasters with like SpongeBob on it.
Yeah, I've got a
You're
bloody
fine.
frozen plaster just right on
That
a
literally-
massive gaping hole.
That
And
literally
a sticker
sums
that
up
said
the
I
fucking
bumped my
nurses.
head.
Oh my god.
They smacked one of those bump my head stickers on your face and was like, that'll do it.
Oh,
But yeah, she did that. She was like, "Oh, it's going to be all right." So I spent the rest of the day with the thing on. And when my mum and dad come to pick me up at the end of the day, the teacher who I had was just like, "Oh, Aaron's just had a bit of an accident. He's had a bit of a boo-boo. It's fine."
They didn't
Go
call him
home.
to come in.
No, spent the rest of the day with this because it was like midday when it happened, I think,
Oh my
or
god.
like the second half of the day. So I have this thing on my face. They just say, "Oh, it's fine. He's just got a little boo-boo. It's all right." My mum, they take me home. My mum takes it off, sees a gaping hole in there, fucking panics. I end up going to A&E to have it stitched together with no anaesthetic because I was too young. So my dad and two nurses had to pin me down to the table while I'm getting fucking stitches in my mouth.
This is actually real life Saw. Fucking, it's the new Saw movie. It's Spiral. If you haven't seen Spiral, guys, this is the trailer. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And for like, I want to say for like 5 to 10 years after that, every time I did that with my jaw, I just got this constant clicking noise in my ear.
Oh,
Yeah.
What school did you go
That
to?
is-
You can bleep it out.
I'll bleep it out because I hate the place.
Oh, it was
my sister went there.
fucking
I hated that place because all the
It was
teachers,
really shit.
yeah, all the teachers had a grudge against me. Like I wouldn't do anything wrong, and then they just they just tell me off for nothing, and I'm just like, I don't done nothing, Gov. Luckily, just a baby. But yeah, luckily in year 5 I moved to and it was a much nicer place. Primary school. But yeah, that place is a shit hole.
That's so bad.
So yeah, that happened, and that was, like I said, that's like year 1 of primary school that happened. A gaping
That
hole
is
in my face.
Awful.
If that happened to my
Yeah.
kid, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
swinging heads, mate.
Yeah.
The whole like anaesthetic, the whole stitch with no anaesthetic bit still confuses me to this day. Like, yeah, I was young, but like, kids that age get anaesthetic for dentist stuff all the time.
Yeah, I had like
Yeah.
an injection in my gum when they took a tooth out and stuff.
Yeah. Instead, I had fucking 2 nurses and my dad pinning me down with a fucking needle in my
I'm
mouth.
surprised they didn't give you like a shot of whiskey or something. It sounds that old.
Oh, you know what they
Oh,
should have
yeah.
given me? They should have
Oh,
given me one of
woo-woo.
these. Yeah.
Woo woo for your boo boo.
As you drink it, it just pours out the bloody hole that's in the side of your face. Like...
Oh,
So, yeah, that is probably, out of all the injuries I've had, that is by far the worst. Like, all the others were, like, very tame in terms of how they happened, but that one's, like, straight up, like,
You got 9 lives, mate.
You
Yep.
really do.
I'm on the last one.
So what happened when the invigilator smacked you in the face?
So,
Did it go through the hole?
No, thank God, no. So, it was right at the end of the exam. They were collecting those really chunky, fucking thick poetry books.
Yeah.
And the guy picked it up, and it just kind of went, like, off the table and then right on the bridge of my nose. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then the guy's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that to
Maybe he
happen.
has to do it in the whisper and hush. He'd have been like,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I did that. I
You're like,
thought,
what?
yeah, just like, oh. Like, luckily it was like not a massive like boof to the face. It was just like a like that. But it was enough where I was like, oh, what the? Oh.
Okay, so that was your first 3 truths, 3 7 truths and a lie truth.
Yep.
What's the next one?
Right, next one. We got some fairly safe ones here. Like, we got some pretty like decent ones. No graphic detail, thank God. So first one. My first ever concert was McFly. Second one, I own all the Harry Potter books but have never actually read them. Or 3, I have once met Michael Caine.
I know which one I'm going for.
Michael Caine. Michael Caine.
I
Mark
think the
Caine.
Harry Potter books is a lie.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, what was
You
the
don't
first
want-
one again?
The first one is my first concert was McFly.
I think the Harry Potter books.
I'm sticking with Harry Potter.
What, as the lie?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're both wrong.
Is it McFly?
No, I've never met Michael Caine.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
So,
Well,
just to clarify, do you own all the Harry Potter books and you have read them? Or you just don't own them?
No, the Harry Potter one is true. I've had all of them since they came out, but I have never read them. I've seen all the films, I've just never read the books.
Wait, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Like, as in, I thought that was true. I'm a dumb head.
Dumb head.
Dumb head.
Yeah. I've got all the books, never read them. My first concert was McFly back in 2006.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them.
Don't they sing that, the boy with 20 colours in his hair?
Right, you're like close, but you're like 50 miles off in the wrong direction.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I was
Do you
just...
remember we had to learn a
Not
McFly
dumb.
song in form?
Choir. Oh.
No, it was form. we
Yeah,
had to
for
learn a song.
Oakwood.
Oof.
Yeah, what was it?
Wait, Aaron, what house were you?
I was Corbeck.
Loser.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you only have to spend 5 minutes in a Corbeck form room and just go, these guys are all twats.
Who was your computer?
What was her name? Mrs. Or
Oh my
No.
god, how did I know you were going to say Miss... Yeah,
So
she's
you were in the
Yeah.
English room. She
The-
never
the mug
remembered my
slammer.
name.
yeah.
She never remembered my name, but she knew it began with J. So every time I was in class with her, she'd be like, Jasmine or Julie.
Jamiroquai.
Every time I was like, it's fucking Jemima, and she was like, next lesson she'd be like, yeah, so Justina. I'm like, how?
Jeremiah, could you just read that
Yeah,
section of the book
Jeremiah.
for me, please?
Jumanji.
Jemima.
Jamiroquai. Juju Habaju Baboo.
I love how Aaron's bringing out some really weird fucking
But that's funny. They're funny because my ex-boyfriend called me Jumanji because I met him at Reading Festival and he couldn't remember my name because he was so drunk all the time and he was from Essex, so he just called me Jumanji, which then got shortened to Mange. So that was my nickname for ages.
It's a bit close to something else, don't you think?
Yeah. We're just gonna call Jemima Pret a Manger.
I love manger in there. There's so much good stuff to manger. I love to manger and pret a manger.
Once I was with my friend and I was rhyming his name and I was going, it rhymes with this and rhymes with this, it rhymes with this, and he went, Jemima? Vagina?
Fuck's sake. Yeah, because he's going to call you that.
Oh, it's
What
just
a
the clock.
weirdo.
It's just the clock ticking thing, just like Jemima. Ah. Got it.
Vagina. And then also in my old job, I had this guy email me a complaint that the surveyor had got his boat name wrong, whilst also in the same email he addressed it to Jeremiah.
Wow. That is very
So
weird.
those names are not actually that far off.
They've cropped up at some point. We
Who
love
was in
Oh,
your
dear.
form? Did you have any naughty people in your form?
Oh, I mean,
Did you have in your form?
yeah, and then she left.
Who else did you have?
I had. Oh God, I can't remember.
Oh god.
Oh God, she's my cousin. Believe it
Is
or not.
she?
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is she?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
How so?
She's such a sweet pea.
So she is my dad's sister's daughter.
Kid.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
She's
crazy.
so nice. She was like one of the most unproblematic people at school ever.
Yeah, she was actually
Yeah.
so funny as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Along with who used to actually make
Yeah.
me die with
Right.
laughter.
Oh, I was going to say that was in my form, but I think she was actually in the other one.
The other one.
I'm not sure. I also had people like and and
Did you know he turned out to be a massive arsehole, apparently?
yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, there's nothing new there. It's like reverse
Nothing
evolutionary. Yeah, it's like the reverse
Makes lots of
evolutionary
money
chain.
though.
Oh, well.
Apart from that, I can't really remember anyone else that was in my. Everyone else was kind of forgettable.
Do you
Oh, God, I remember everybody.
do you have any funny stories or like really profound memories from school?
I have a few. I know there's one thing my best friend keeps reminding me about, and that's
Yeah.
during one of the sports days
Wait, who's your
when
best friend?
uh,
Oh
like
yeah.
we became friends in like year 8, and we've pretty much been solid since. I think it was winter.
I think it was winter.
I think it was winter.
One cold, dark night.
It was Interhouse.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's
Interhouse
alright.
Classic.
Yeah, and like the go-to one during winter was always like rugby, even though I was not a fan of like the full contact sports because
Yeah.
I don't like conflict. Like literally, I would be the one guy of like, okay, no one's near the ball. Maybe I can get. No, there's a pile up going there. I'm just gonna stay away. So
The guy who tied his shoelaces 20 times in one game.
yeah, just like like with tag rugby, I know I'd always be the one just kind of like everyone's going for full on like boom, 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 and I'm just the one going. Come on,
No.
come on.
Can I get it?
Bollocks. Shit.
Hate that shit.
But yeah, it was during. I know it was full contact rugby because of what happened next. So he always likes to remind me about this, and I always have vague recollections of it until he reminds me, and I'm like, "Yep, you did that." So he, in his words, he tackled me, and I went flying in the air like a starfish and landed on my arse.
Like this. Like this.
Yeah, like. And apparently, like, I do vaguely remember that because I remember, like, when I was mid-air, like, everything went in slow-mo and I was like, the ground's upside down.
Aaron, please insert just like Patrick style rolling slowly over this clip.
Apart from that, I have nice memories of, like, because I went on a few of the trips, like the year 8 Belgium trip, the history one.
Cool.
And also the year 10 Berlin trip, which were quite. I have some nice memories of that because one of my really good friends at the time, because the Berlin trip was all like Cold War, World War II related stuff. Like we went to see like the Berlin Wall and there was something else as well. But one of the places we went to was Sachsenhausen concentration camp. And one of my really good friends at the time is half Jewish. And I pretty much spent most of the time, like everyone went, like there wasn't like a guided tour, we all kind of went in our own things. And I spent the whole time basically like hand on her shoulder trying to make sure she was okay. Because she was pretty much in tears most of the time.
Yeah, it's gotta hit hard, huh?
Yeah, and because that, like, it was no, it was yeah, because when on that trip, like she was the one I hung out with the most because like she was part of the friend group I had anyway at secondary school. But like out of that group that went, she was only really the only one there, and we were kind of just like stuck together like glue. And that was I just remember that like vividly being stuck in my head because the thing is with because I have Asperger's, and the thing with that is like sometimes you can't always tell what someone else is feeling unless it's really fucking obvious. Like Like, there are times when... It's not all the time, but I know it's worse for some people than it is for me. But there are times where, like, I can't tell if you're pissed off or not. And you have to be visibly angry or visibly crying for me to get across that, like, oh, yeah, you're yeah, you're feeling that way. And she was in tears, and that's one of the few times where it was like, to begin with, I was like, I don't, like, not like, obviously I knew why it was upsetting, but my brain was like, I don't know why so and so is upset. And then when it got, like, when she was really crying, I was like, okay, I know, I need to just look after her and make sure she's alright. That's one. Yeah, that's one problem I've got. I'm too busy looking out for other people than myself.
Well, you've got two big mamas now to look after you.
Big mamas, wow, thank you. Have you seen what she looks like? That's me.
Oof.
No one's hurting our baby Libra.
Yeah. Baby Libra.
I've got to save you as that on my phone now, so if you ever text or call me, I'll be like,
Libra.
whoever I'm with, I'll be like, baby Libra.
From Baby Libra.
I'll be on a date or something, and then my phone will go up and it'll be like, baby Libra. And they'll be like,
The fuck? Who is that? Oh, it's just my editor.
do you have any memories with either of us? Like, what's your memory of you and Grace?
I mean, you guys have pretty much nailed it on. Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. I know there was one point where I think it was during a French lesson, and the teacher had walked out, and you randomly, I think we were doing, like, you know, the activities where it's like you have to write, what is your favourite film? Or, like, you know, what is your favourite food? Or really shit
Basically
things
the
like
start of
that.
this podcast.
Yeah. And you had to write it in French. And I know, because you knew I was into film, you kind of... I vaguely remember this, but you were like, Aaron, who directed Harry Potter? And I'm like, multiple people have. And you're like, yeah, but I mean, like, the most recent one. And I'm like, oh, fucked if I know.
That's so fucking random. Why would I even care?
I don't know, but the
obsessed.
funny thing is,
I know.
it was one of those things where you answered it, like, you know, when people, like, ask a question, it's like, what's the name of that person? It's Thingy, never mind. But you kind of just went, like, who directed Harry Potter? Is it David Yates? It's David Yates. Okay, I'm going to put David Yates. And I was just
so I
like...
just answered it myself.
Yeah, and I was just... I don't think I said anything. I was just like...
It's David Yates.
Yeah?
Aaron's probably just like, are we having a conversation right now?
Yeah, I was just like, okay, good talk. I'm just going to check if David Yates is the... Yeah, David Yates is
David
actually the
Yates.
right one.
This is
Yeah,
Grace.
David Yates.
It's David Yates.
David
It's
Yates.
David Yates.
It's David
David.
Yates.
David Yates.
That's
When
funny.
That's the... I don't know why, but that's the key thing that sticks into my head when it comes to Grace, like a memory. Even though it's like a really small moment, it was just like, who's David Yates? Yeah, it's David Yates. David Yates? David Yates.
David Yates.
I wish I
with-
remembered these things. My memory's so awful.
It's weird.
All that
I
crack
remember
you've been
oddly
smoking.
It's
Yeah,
those
pretty much.
druggy woo-woos.
That's the one.
It's weird because like there are times where like I remember oddly specific shit, and there are times where I just don't remember anything at all.
Literally.
Um,
Do you have any memories of us?
yeah, the ones I have the most vivid memories. Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, testosterone and all that.
Tag rugby.
Rugby, football, 2 pints of lager.
Contact sport.
Contact sport.
Putting my face in another man's arse.
What? Gross.
Oh, God.
It's David Yates.
I'll hold me head, I'm going
It's David
in.
Yates.
Oh no! My grandma.
Oh, hang on, we're losing him.
Oh, gross.
No, the memory, the most vivid memory I have of...
She's choking. No, she's not.
I know this might sound like really trivial or like really kind of pathetic to anyone that's listening, but remember you and me used to share DVDs in the last year of school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used
Because
to.
like...
Did your
yeah,
form start have moved to the other food tech room next to me or something? all
It
the
was
corners.
It was because all my friends like hung around that
I
food
was
tech
in
area.
our form. Grace was in my form as
Yeah.
well.
So I was in my friend group, and then came in, and then all that, and then we all kind of just congregated there. And then when we needed to go for form, we just kind of dispersed. And I, correct me if I'm wrong, but like we didn't actually become like friends like until like the last year of secondary school.
Yeah, I think so, because I don't know if you know this, Grace, but me and Aaron used to, because we were in the same place every morning, we'd bring in each other a film that
That's
neither
really
of us had
cute.
seen, and we'd swap. And I remember the one that sticks in my head was that Keanu Reeves movie. It was like about a like an exorcism.
Oh, Constantine.
Constantine, and I loved it.
Yeah. You see,
That was so
I
good.
completely forgot I lended that one to you, because the one that I always
I probably
remember
still
is
have
I
it.
lended. No, I think I've got it over there. The one I remember the most is I gave you Fight Club,
Yes.
and was that your first time watching it?
Yeah, and it was so good. You gave me so good. You gave me Fight Club. You gave me Constantine. You gave me... What did I give you? Do you remember?
I remember a couple. You
Did I
gave me
give
Little
you
Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine, I was about to say that.
That was the very first one, and I remember it was on TV the week before, but I'd only watched like half of it, so by
Oh,
having
sick.
that, I watched the whole thing. Again,
Oh my God, I
remembering
remember that
oddly
movie.
specific
That's
stuff.
crazy.
That's so good.
Little Miss Sunshine, you gave me Spirited Away, and that's the very first time I'd watched that.
Oh my God, that's
Did I
Um,
give you what's that film about the little boy that's a robot and then he gets like left in the forest? Not artificial
Not
intelligence,
E.T..
AI. It was AI.
No, I've never seen AI. I don't
Oh
think
my
you gave me
God,
that one.
You'll cry if you watch it, but it's so good.
I don't. You gave me This Is England and a film called Perfume as well.
Perfume's really good. Oh my God, your memory is fantastic.
What is Perfume about?
It's about this murderer in France, but it's not like freaky scary. It's like kind of fairy tale-y. And he basically he murders women and captures their essence and puts it in perfume, and everyone's like, "What is this amazing perfume?" It's really good. You'd probably really like it.
I remember it like out of all of them, I feel like obviously apart from Little Miss Sunshine and that, I think This Is England and Perfume were the ones that like stuck in my head. And about to ruin everyone's day, the guy who plays the killer in Perfume is the voice of Paddington.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ben,
I'm going to murder you with a marmalade sandwich.
What's his name? Ben Walnut.
Ben Whishaw.
Wishaw, that's it.
Yeah, that's one thing you're going to find out about me today. I'm like an IMDb in my brain. Like,
That's so
if
good.
you need an actor name, and I can, straight out.
That's great.
Unless it's someone I've never heard of.
So do you remember any more that you gave me?
Did I give you a film called Monsters,
I don't know.
which was about two people trying to cross like a quarantine zone that had aliens in it?
Oh no, but you did introduce. No, that wasn't you. Sorry.
Did I give you
I was
Pulp
gonna-
Fiction?
No.
No. I can't remember. I know the ones you gave me. I just can't remember the ones that.
I remember just Constantine just sticking in my psyche, and I was like, "Well, you."
That is a good film. That is a very good
Anyway.
film.
Whoa, that was good.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean,
Grace, seen any good movies lately, darling?
I went to cinema and I watched.
Wait, can you do it in French, please?
J'ai petit tout le cinéma. Oh.
Je ne comprends pas.
Oh.
I went to the cinema the other week just as it opened, and I watched. I think it's Those Who Wish Me Dead, the new Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
actually
intrigued
really
to see that.
good.
I need to get back to the cinema because they've been open for like a week or two, haven't they?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to
At the-
see
by
the new
the- at the point-
Conjuring.
I want to see the new Cruella.
I really want to see A Quiet Place too. Like,
Yeah, they were talking about that on the radio today, and everyone's like raving
Yeah.
about it.
I really like the first one, but like this second one is apparently like the dog's bollocks.
Anyway, sidetrack. Do you want to do your next 2 truths and a lie?
Yeah. Okay, right. Funnily enough, the first one I've got here is actually related to what we were just saying. The last film I saw in a cinema was Tenet.
Okay.
Second, I have an older brother that's kind of separated himself from the family, so we don't hear much from him anymore. And third one is I can do a really bloody good Mickey Mouse impression.
I think the brother's a lie because you said...
Number 2's a lie.
Yeah, because you said you have only child syndrome earlier.
You're shooting yourself in the foot.
That's a good storyline for a movie, though.
I have an older brother that separated himself from the family.
He got lost in the Mackey's playpen and no one's seen him since 2002. Some say he still haunts the ball pit. Yeah.
Lost in the ball pit, coming this summer.
That sounds like a new game show.
Hi guys, I'm Simon and I'm Aaron's older brother. You can find me lost in the ball pit.
No brother, no mother. Something wrong.
So give us your It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, it's fun inside.
Hot dog, hot dog, hot diggity dog. Here we go.
Oh my god, that's so fucking good.
Have you seen the South Park episode with the Jonas Brothers and Mickey?
Oh, with the purity rings.
Yeah, and it's Mickey Mouse. What does he say?
Oh god, I haven't watched it for ages, but I know exactly which one you're on about.
We need to do a podcast trip to Disneyland.
Oh my god,
Vlog.
can you imagine?
Do you know, in Florida, there's this place called Golden Oaks? Yeah, I think it's Golden Oaks. And it's basically like this property, this like a couple of like this huge land with property on it, and you can like live in Disneyland. But it's like psychotic.
Is it like the apartments of the rundown part of Disneyland?
No, they're not apartments. They're like mansions, and they're so expensive. They're like millions, and they've all got little Disney embellishments in them, but they're just like wacky. And it's like, why would you want to live on Disney property? It's a bit like culty, you know?
Yeah. That's weird.
It sounds like, have you ever seen The Stepford Wives?
I watched it the other day after you told me about it. Oh my god! It was so good.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Aaron, I highly recommend. When when was it made, Jemima? Do you know?
Early 2000s.
It seems like early 2000s.
It's got like Willem Dafoe in it. Who's the main?
I literally can't remember.
Actress in it. Aaron's on
Stepford Wives.
The Stepford Wives.
With Nicole Kidman in it.
Yeah, that's Nicole Kidman.
Although very interesting, good. You say Willem Dafoe, because when you were describing the whole like part of Disneyland where they live on it, there's a film from a couple of years ago called The Florida Project, where he plays like the owner of these actual like apartments and flats that are like on this rundown bit of Disneyland that doesn't get used anymore, and it's literally just shitty housing, but it's still all the bright, colourful buildings of where it used to be Disneyland.
It's
a
weird
like
film.
A fake movie.
Yeah, it's a legitimate film, and because fun fact, one thing you can't do with a film crew for any film at all is film in Disneyland. You cannot do it. But the last 5 minutes of the film are shot on an iPhone, and it's the kids, the main character of the film, the kids, just running into Disneyland. But they shot it on an iPhone because obviously they can't get a proper camera in there. So it just jarringly shifts from like really nice looking quality footage to shitty iPhone going like that.
How did Modern Family get away with it then?
I think it's slightly different because this is an independent film, so they obviously can't probably get the permission to do it.
Obviously episodes as well, and it was so popular, Modern Family, in its prime.
I never watched it, but you couldn't escape it.
It's so good.
I only just watched it like in the last year, and
Me too.
Yeah, and I watched. I've watched the first, because the first 8 seasons were on Netflix, and then the last 3 were on Now TV. Now TV is really annoying to watch because you have like 2 seconds to click next episode, and then it just like you have to reload the whole page, etc. So Netflix, obviously, it just like rolls over. And so the first 8 seasons I must have watched ridiculous amount of times because I'll just have it on in the background. I love it.
Because I always thought it looked so annoying, like years ago when it was advertised. I was like, this looks shit. I didn't like the shaky hand cam and all that. But then I watched an episode with you at yours and I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Okay, cool. What else you got for us, big boy?
Yeah, B-dog.
I'm trying to... Let me see. In terms of...
Aaron, did you... Oh,
yeah?
Sorry.
No, I'm still looking through.
Did you ever get in trouble at school? Like, did you have isolation or
She has to ask this.
I always have to ask this.
She's like,
really
did you have ombre hair? Because I need to know.
Well,
it's on my petition.
Well, I had ombre only at the back because I had mullet going. No. No, I never had isolation. And I think the only time I had some form of detention was like a group, was like, you know, when like those really bullshit ones where it was the whole class, like a whole class one.
What?
I know.
Everyone had ombre in the whole class.
I know.
Yeah, it was crazy. I told them that.
So it was really bullshit. It's like one of those things where like a couple of kids were dicking around, but yet the whole class got shafted for it. And I know the whole class, pretty much the whole class, arrived at the room, like ready for the detention. Well, most of us did. And then the teacher got there and she went, "What are you doing here?" And we just like, "You gave us all the detention." It's like, "Did I? Oh, never mind. Just go."
Oh,
and
what was it for? Do you remember?
I don't know. It was literally like 3 or 4 students dicking around, and the whole class got a thing for it. I can't remember exactly. This was like year 7 or year 8, so like I only vaguely. I just remember like that moment, and I don't actually remember what caused it. So yeah, that was a weird one. Kind of, but not really. Like, I would happily go through it again to make the same friends that I did.
Yeah.
But, like, the actual school bit... No. No.
Do you like any subjects?
I mean, I've always been a bit of a history person, so I lapped that up. Especially when I did, you know, in the last 2 years where you're doing it as a GCSE sort of thing, like you choose to do it, like all of that, where it was about like, because I really find anything World War One to now, anything between that gap, really fascinating. Like specifically like the World War One, World War Two, the Cold War. All that stuff. I find that stuff really fascinating, and the fact that mostly focused on that, like it was Hitler's Germany, the Cold War, the Berlin Wall, Nelson Mandela, and
what was the other thing? Was it the suffragettes?
I want to say the suffragettes, and it was all that kind of stuff. What
fascinates you about it all?
I don't know. It's just I know this might sound a bit like a bit of a weird connection, but like I grew up and I still like playing a lot of like Medal of Honor and Call of Duty, and watching like Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan as a kid and all that, and I just found it so fascinating. And then when you go into like the logistics of it all and like how things started and how things were resolved, and the fact that the Cold War was not the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis was just kind of stupid. Like how it started was just really idiotic a little bit, and I just find that all just I don't know, I just find it fascinating, especially like the Vietnam War era, Because again, that's a war that shouldn't have happened, but it did, and just finding out why it started, what exactly went on, it's like the nitty gritty. I just find it really fascinating.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just
I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like all of these events that have happened in history don't feel like they've happened to me. So they're just like stories, or they are like a movie or something. And that, like, some of the stuff that happened is actually just so wacky, or like that can't have happened.
I think it's because we live in the era of everything is televised, everything's caught on camera. There's a movie about everything, and because there's no actual footage of some of these things happening, do you know what I mean? You're just like no footage of people running around crazy, like, you know, crisis, but
What, so you're saying that maybe you start conceiving like the fantasy in your head because you don't see it? That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, it was only really from like the 50s and like the Vietnam War onwards where they actually started to film stuff, and even then they didn't film everything.
No.
But yeah, there's a really fascinating documentary about World War One called "They Shall Not Grow Old," where they took black and like really juddery footage that was shot in the trenches in World War One. That's all in black and white, and they restored it, made it in like turned the black and white footage into colour, and smoothened it so it looked like it was something shot today, even though it is footage from 1914.
That's crazy.
And they over the whole thing, they've added sound design to it, and they've added these interviews with World War One veterans that just adds a level of authenticity to the things you're saying, and it's really fascinating.
That's so cool. God. I think instead of a playlist recommendation this week, we should have Aaron's movie recommendations.
That's such a good idea.
I mean, I could do a playlist, but it's up to you.
You can do both.
Oh.
If you want to do both.
You can do both. Do double time.
You can do both. You can do both.
I want to find this movie, Aaron, and ask you if you've seen it. It's like, I think it's the Vietnam War, and basically there's these soldiers that were captured. Wait, hold on.
That's a lot of. That sounds
like
the plot
every movie ever.
every war movie. Yeah, it's called Rescue Dawn. Oh my god.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Wow, look at my screen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Vile. That's disgusting.
I have heard of that. I haven't seen it, but I know exactly which film you're on about.
Yeah, it's very good.
I shall try and look for that.
Yeah, feel free, my dude.
Cool.
Yeah,
so what else you got for us? Oh, sorry, Grace, you say it. Retake, go.
I was just going to say, do you have a movie recommendation, or are you going to add that in the end, do you reckon?
There's a lot of films that I could easily recommend, but actually the one thing I can't stop thinking about, do you guys know of Bo Burnham?
No.
Do you know who he is at all?
No.
Oh, sacre bleu. He's a comedian. Sacre bleu. He's a comedian who is like the youngest ever person to get a Comedy Central comedy special when he was 18.
How old is he, like 8?
No, he's 30 now, but like this was back in like 2013. And he released a Netflix special for the first time in 5 years, comedy special on the weekend. It's the best thing I think I've ever seen. Like, he shot it, edited it, performed it, did the whole thing on his own in his house during lockdown last year. And it's not as funny as like his other comedy specials, but it does hit. Like, he hits some very honest like things. Like,
jokes.
He's very not jokes. Like, there's one point because it's set in his house. Because it's because of lockdown, he's very open about stuff, and he can be very brutally honest, and he kind of all the opportunities he has for humour, he kind of just is very genuine, down to earth, and there's even points where like he's very open about his depression and like the reason he quit comedy back in 2016 was because he started having panic attacks on stage. And right at the start of 2020, he was like, you know what, I'm going to get back into stand-up, and then COVID happened. And then that's why he filmed the comedy special. But it's an hour and 27 minutes of some of the most creative stuff I've ever seen.
Okay.
Like,
so
what
cool.
what
Okay,
he's
cool.
able to do on his own is brilliant. He makes some hilarious songs. He just hits the nail on the head. He's absolutely brilliant.
What's
Love
the show
that.
called?
So this new special is called Inside, but I recommend you watch his Inside. I recommend you watch his first two, which are called
Okay.
What and Make Happy, which are both on Netflix. Because if you watch those, you'll get a sense of his humour, and then if you watch Inside, it's a lot more personal, a lot more emotional. So like, you'll
Okay.
see the evolution and shit and like.
You'll be more invested as well.
Yeah, like you'll get a sense of like, I don't know, how he's grown as a person, and I just feel like if you know his style a lot more, Inside is a lot more fulfilling because it is so personal and so what's the word? I don't know. Yeah, because like even though there is no crew or no audience, you feel like you know him a lot better from this. Yeah, it's absolutely. I can't stop thinking about it, and I don't think I will be for the rest of the year.
That's
It's
so cute.
brilliant. It's absolutely
Most
brilliant.
comedians are like that. They're actually the saddest people ever, and that's
Yeah.
why their comedy is their therapy. You know.
I mean,
Agreed.
that's 9 out of 10 times why the comedians also make the best dramatic actors, because they're just pulling from a lot of personal experience. Like Robin Williams or Jim Carrey are like two of the best
Rad.
because they take all their personal stuff, put it onto the screen, and then you just get some really dramatic performances.
Was that a little
That's so
tear?
true.
No,
It
I've just
was,
got
yeah.
it. Oh, Christ.
That was
Oh,
actually
God.
a plug for himself. Aaron's actually one of those dramatic actors.
I wish.
You're just saying that Aaron's depressed.
Was there
Okay,
anything else you wanted to ask?
Yeah. Have you got any other like quizzy stuff for us, or is it just?
Let's have a look. There is one thing I wanted to bring up, which I think would be quite funny.
Okay.
Do either of you know what this thing is?
That is a condom.
Can't see properly.
Is that
That
the
It's a
yearbook?
condom.
They're not a condom. It's not.
Is that like
No,
where
don't worry.
people write their memories at the end of year?
Yeah, I've got.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Yeah, I thought. Part of me was
Yes.
like, do I get the end of year? You know, the one that they give you, which is like got
Yeah.
the school slapped over it with all the
Jemima's
pictures.
obsessed with that.
Yeah, I was tempted to get that one out, but then I was like, no, I've got some ammunition in here. Specifically, where is it?
Who's first?
Well, Grace didn't write in this. Just saying.
Bitch!
We sat next to each other in every class and you didn't give me your book to write
No, I
in.
bet Grace was like, I'll write it later. We got loads of classes, I'll write it later.
No, I wasn't. Aaron, I don't think you wrote in mine.
No, I mean, I don't think I did. I
Guys,
don't
break it
really
up.
know. Don't really know.
I've got mine in my wardrobe as well.
So yeah, I always know where this is because of how small it is, and I usually keep it in a easy to find area because
He
of.
frames
That's what
it
all the
and
boys
he changes
say.
the page each month.
But yeah, I was like, do I get the end of year book thing with all the pictures in? But I was like, nah, this is priceless.
No,
Um,
Jemima right.
So
How long was it?
Right, it's a paragraph. It's almost a paragraph, roughly.
Show us. See my writing.
It's that side.
Cute.
Is there a
So
picture?
I'm going- Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to read it. Are you sitting comfortably?
Well, begin.
So I'll read it and then I'll show the little doodle you did at the bottom. On a dark and stormy night. Aaron, the coolest guy I have ever met. Ever. There's full stops there, so I had to emphasise that. The first rule of film club is that you don't talk about film club. Are you flirting with me, Mr. Gillingham? Question mark. Never ever stop watching films. Film nerds for life. Continue doing what you do, man, and may the force forever be with you, Jemima. And then there's a little...
Oh my god, that's so cute.
I like how you had to specify this is Star Wars. It's Star Wars.
It's not a cockfight.
And like you also had to specify, who was who. Like Aaron had the long bob.
Yeah.
Me, you.
Wait, read it again.
What, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Aaron, the coolest guy I've ever met, ever. The first rule of film club is that you don't talk about film club. Are you flirting with me, Mr. Gillingham?
What was that bit? That's what I wanted to know. Are you flirting with me, Mr. Gillingham? What's that?
It's probably from a movie.
No,
Sounds
I
like a
think...
boy.
No, I feel like that's a thing.
I think, from what I remember...
DMs.
No, trust me, this is an old text, I think. So, you were...
Know about this?
So, I think the context was... my brain might be a bit blurry. But you were around, like, a friend's house. I think you were with, like, Grace and all that, around, like, a sleepover or something. And we were just having a random, like, text conversation. Completely harmless. And then out of nowhere, you just go... You flirted with me, Mr. Gillingham, because of something that I'd said which was just completely normal. And then, because back then I was in, like, I feel like in the years since secondary school, I'm a lot more, I'm not 100% confident, but, like, I'm more open. I can talk. But back in secondary school, I was a nervous piece of shit. Like, that's probably the reason why I didn't have a girlfriend back then, is because, like, I was too nervous to fucking do anything. And, like, when you sent that, I remember my face went red and I was like, that wasn't the intention. Shit.
Remember, what have you done? You scarred Aaron.
She's a Scorpio.
Because, like, now I know kind of how to respond to that, because it would just be joking, but back then I was like, well,
I was just taking
just
out
the
the
biggest
Crowhouse
gulp.
boys. One by one.
Yeah, that.
But yeah, I'm pretty
even
sure
heard the
that's what
gulp.
it was related to. I think that's what
so
it was related to.
funny. Oh, I'm sorry.
Aw.
I would have eaten you alive. So because
Next thing
Grace
you
didn't
know-
write one, Grace, I want you to give you your one now.
To Aaron. Cheers for the pens. Love you. Stay safe. Bye.
David.
David Yates.
David Yates. It's David Yates.
I was actually so shit at writing in people's. You, Jemima, wrote like 3 pages in mine, and mine was an A5 book.
Damn. Bloody hell.
Do you mean an
What?
A3?
So Aaron- Huh?
No.
No, it's
Eight.
A5.
So
A5.
smaller than A4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, just had to clarify that, sorry.
smaller than that. No. What did I write in yours, Jemima?
Jemima, I wasn't flirting. Bye. I don't know,
I swear
I
to
don't
God.
have it in London. It's not
Ah.
here.
I have mine in my wardrobe, but I don't know where it is.
Sacrilege. Sacrilege.
Blech.
Sacrilege.
That's so funny. Whenever I see any of you two out now, if I bump into you or like we meet up or something, I'm go, it's David Yates.
It's David Jones.
It's David Yates, isn't it? Yeah.
stay with
No,
Grace.
you know she's gonna pull out the "Are you flirting with me?" card
Oh no.
multiple times.
No, because then I'm just going to revert back to my fucking 16-year-old self.
He's
and
just
go,
gonna have PTSD.
Oh, I don't know, Mrs. Bowler. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, jeez,
No
Rick.
flirting.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick. I didn't. I'm not sure about that.
Grace, this whole time I thought you've had a kettle behind you.
It's
Every
my plant
podcast.
died. My plant died.
Every podcast, I literally, sometimes you're telling a story and for a split second my concentration will go, why the fuck's Grace got a kettle in her room?
No, my plant died. I killed it.
Oh, you murderer.
And what should we do for the last roundup section?
Usually,
Usually we give advice. So
yeah. I mean, that's better than what I was going to say. But
okay, so to finish this podcast, I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I've even forgot we're doing a podcast. It's just been so much fun.
Yeah.
Hanging out all together. We'll have to
it.
do it in person soon.
Yeah, for
Promise,
real.
pinky
Yeah.
swears,
Really.
guys. So Aaron, we usually finish our podcast with a little bit of life advice. Is there
Okay.
anything you want to tell our audience? Anything you've gone through or anything you think's cool that people should know about?
An
And also
inspirational quote.
plug yourself as well, like let the people know about where they can find you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll do the advice first. Well, it's not. I've got one bit of advice,
Okay.
and I've got one thing which is just like, I was going to say common sense, but it's just like a thing where it's like, it kind of grates me, and I feel like more people need to kind of like, get it in their heads. But I'm going to do the advice bit first. The advice is just, and this mostly applies to people in that stage where they're young and they maybe don't know what to do with their lives. Just once you find something that you're interested in, or that I think this is something that one of you may have already said on a previous one, but it's almost like me reinterpreting it. Just follow what you care about, or what you enjoy, because I know it's easier said than done that you don't want to be stuck in a job that you don't like. I know that's kind of easier said than done nowadays. But for example, and again, this kind of goes in with the Asperger's thing, but people with autism tend to, not out of choice, but they tend to be fixated on a specific thing. And it's not through choice, it's just because they can only be satisfied mentally by that one thing. And any other thing that is more important. So, for example, me with film, it's not my choice that I like film so much. It's just it's something that I've latched onto and I just can't let go of it. But it's all I really know, if that makes sense, without it sounding sad. So, if there's, an important thing I need to focus on, or, something unrelated to it that's really boring, I don't know, managing money, or, something really mundane. And again, this doesn't fully apply to me, but it applies to people more heavily on the spectrum, is that you sometimes need to relate the boring thing to something they're interested in to be able to get them to give a shit about it and actually get them to focus. Because otherwise, it's why a lot of people on the spectrum are so good at maths. It's because they get it, they know what they're doing, and they just become fixated on it, and they know it off by heart. And I mean, it kind of blows into what the other thing I was going to say, but it just, in a summary, anyone in general, once you find a thing, just follow that. Just don't. I sound like I'm rambling a little bit.
No, it's okay.
Just, I don't know, because I know people in secondary school era, you kind of don't know what you want to do, and even now I don't quite know what I'm doing.
Don't we all?
But you just kind of have to follow what you know and get good at it. I think that's the way I want to word it. So I wouldn't. I don't really want to call this a pet peeve because it's not. It's more just something that's. I don't want to sound like a pretentious wanker, but it needs to be said.
Go on.
So I was talking to some friends the other day about this, and they totally agree. So you know how with most generations, there are like specific insults or like specific terms, like the 90s. It's like, oh my god, you're such a dork, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
like there are very
Yeah.
specific generational ones. There's something that really grates about this current generation's version of insults, and especially like you're going to know exactly what I mean as soon as I say it. But so the two specific that really grate on me, because I actually think they're a lot more. It puts wrong connotations out there, and it makes it more hurtful than it actually is. So, one insult that I really hate is retard. But the modern equivalent is autistic. Like, oh my god, that guy is so autistic. Like stop
saying
being
it
so
in a
autistic.
Negative.
Yeah. And that, especially as someone who's on the spectrum, pisses me off so much.
I think it's very... Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No, you go.
I think it's quite similar as well. It's like most insults, really similar to when people are like, oh my god, that's so gay. Like, that's so not okay to say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then why would you say, like, oh my god, that's so autistic, or...
Yeah.
Because it just reduces the communities to, like,
Yeah.
a negative thing. And it takes away the human side to these people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got, like, the general scheme of it as well, being that, like, obviously, like, not all autistic people are retards or idiots. Like, actually, some of the most famous people in history are on the spectrum. Like, Alan Turing
Albert
is the best.
Einstein.
Yeah, Einstein, Alan Turing.
I think
There's probably others.
it's just like a brilliance. Like you say, if you can really focus in on one specific subject and become pro at it, that's probably going to take you a lot further in life than someone who's neurotypical and just kind of like gets everything.
It's just not it's just not the best. And like the other example I have, which is just as grating for me, is the modern equivalent of calling someone a loser is, oh my god, you're such a virgin.
That is so weird. I literally don't hear that, but that is so bloody weird.
I've heard it every now and then.
I heard that quite a lot through school.
Yeah, maybe in school actually.
Like from like guys who were typically or like aesthetically more masculine. That's probably the worst way to brand the people. But you know, when people are more in the boys' club and then they're shouting out like, "Oh, you're such a virgin. Why won't you kiss? You're such a virgin." Like
that.
Oh,
I mean,
or frigid. Frigid
for
one,
girls, I think. Is like
I was going to say frigid is one I haven't heard in years.
Yeah. I think though all of these things, when people are throwing them out there, like you're so gay or you're so autistic, and that's usually a reflection of something that they've got going on with themselves. The most insecure people are going to try and bash everyone else first to make them feel better, and these are just quick ways to get like a little ego boost and be like, ha ha ha, I'm better than you because of this.
It's the way they're said as well, where it's just like, oh, so apparently if I'm not a virgin, I'm normal, or if I'm not autistic, I'm normal. And it I don't know, it's something that shouldn't really, it shouldn't really find that frustrating, but it just gets to me on such a personal level.
Unless you're trying to be my friend, see, this is my thing, is like, if you're trying to be my friend, I want to know what you're like, so I'd rather you say to my face so I cannot be your friend.
It's like there's a difference between banter and then straight up insulting someone, and like I feel like both of the examples I gave are like, especially because they kind of hit personally a little bit, it's just like they go a bit too fucking far.
I think it's cheap comedy as well. It's like comedy is so broad, you can be so funny. Like when me and Grace are having chats as close friends, you'd never see me going like say anything about like her race or anything like that for a cheap laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And likewise, like whatever you would stereotype me as, like you would never just say that for a laugh, or like especially if we're in a group, like no one calls each other out and is like, oh my god, this and that, like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I remember there was something in one of the group chats I had with, I think it was a group of friends that I have, and just I don't think this guy had fully grasped the gist of banter, because out of nowhere he just says, Aaron, you're a bit of a dick, aren't you? Like, no previous conversation, he just goes, Aaron, you're a bit of a dick, aren't you? And I just call him out for going, what the fuck? And he goes, what, it's just banter. And I'm like, no, there needs to be a back and forth here, and you've just gone, twat.
That's
it
so
didn't even come
funny.
from anything.
That's so, like, not funny that it's funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
just
like, baffling funny. Like, what?
The funny thing was, someone tried to defend me, because it's just like, for it to be banter, you need a back and forth. You can't just go, fuck face. And then it's just like, no.
You're ugly. No. So, Aaron, okay, we've gone through how well we know you.
that was a bloody switch.
Performance, bitch. Done performing arts for 18 years and done a music degree, okay?
Okay.
I can't click my fingers, but you know what I'm doing. Add sound effects.
Woo,
Aaron,
woo,
add sound effects. Aaron.
I love how Aaron says add sound effects like he's not the one editing it.
Wait, I've got an editor for the editor. Esteban.
Oh.
Add clicks.
Esteban.
Add clicks. Esteban.
So, we're going to round it off there. Thank you for showing your face. He's real,
Thanks
you
so much
guys.
for coming.
Thank you
He's
for
a real
being our
person.
editor. I think I need
Hello.
to pay you for this month, so maybe invoice me. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Wonga. I need that wonga.
We only pay him in Maltesers.
Yeah, the fucking... Oh.
Thank you for being so open with us. Like, we've had some laughs and talked about some
Yeah.
serious stuff as well, which is really important. And the more brave you are about these situations, I'm sure helps, even if it's just one person, will help people
Yeah,
feel less alone.
definitely. Talk
So
about
thank you
things.
so much. We love you.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Saying come through, you know.
Oh, that's what you wanted.